Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twillow Talk. I'm Tanis Coughlin from the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy, and I am joined by my beautiful co-host, Jennifer Tchaikovsky, and we have an awesome special guest today, Ramzi Cheety. So, we all do stuff. We all do lots of stuff. We all teach at Twillow Lifestyle Academy. I'm an energy healer, Celtic shamanic high priestess, intuitive channel, galactic ambassador. Like I said, I do stuff. And Jen, what do you do?
Yeah, my stuff is I'm a registered psychotherapist, a Canadian certified counselor, intuitive life coach, work with the energies and all that kind of groovy stuff.
And Ramzi, let us know what you do.
Well, what I do,
What do you
I'm
do?
a psychic medium, and I also do coaching, spiritual coaching. I'm an energy healer, also an LP practitioner, and so on. It's like so on.
And
It's
so
a
on,
whole
and so on, and so on, and so on. We all have our unique toolbox of stuff that we bring, which is a beautiful thing. And we are excited to have you today, Ramzi. It's been
Thank
a
you
while.
for having me on.
We're happy you were able to join us. And just to say a quick hello to Kaylee, three of her favorite people. Hello, hello. And we have Ocean Garnet on with us. Hello, Ocean Garnet. Welcome, welcome. Great to have you. And we have Gerald. Hello, Gerald. Looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yay!
Yay.
I just had a great show with Gerald on human design, so that was
awesome.
Exciting. We did the third part of centers and understanding the centers and the impact that they have. So
awesome. And I actually am going to be working with Gerald tomorrow afternoon. So we're going to be on a laugh and learn about your perspective is your reality. So that ought to be looking forward. I'm looking forward to that. And he is looking forward to that as well. Awesome. And that's going to be with Betsy as well, medium Betsy Palmer.
Very cool.
So we're excited about that. And Ramzi, you've got some stuff you're working on too. Spirit Cafe.
Yes, we have a Spirit Cafe, what do you call that? Party coming up next Saturday.
Party time.
We're launching it on the 24th, so we thought 2 weeks before that we'll get together and just, have a quick gathering. Hey, Gerald.
Awesome. So we've got, there's a lot going on right now. So not just with us, we have a lot going on in the energies. So Jen will fill you in on the transits. I need to share the solar flares and stuff with you because this is like huge. Okay, so let me just pull that up for you because we've had 8 M-class solar flares in the last 24 hours. So here we are.
It's a lot.
So this is the graph. You'll see here our maximum was M2, so it's not too huge in terms of it's like medium. Okay, so we've had up into R class, which is up, or X class I should say, which is up in here, but those are quite rare. The M class are a little more frequent, but we don't normally have 8 in one day. That's a lot. So you'll see here we've got all these M class down here all the way into today and stuff. So that's a huge thing that's been going on in the energies. So if you're feeling those, breathe, ground, all of that stuff. The Schumann as well. Oh, what is this? This would be an ad. There we go. This is the Schumann yesterday. All that white is very high spiky energy. So it can make us feel rather discombobulated, somewhat uncomfortable, depending on how you feel and how much you feel. And so this is today. So you see it's calmed down a little bit today. As you can see, it's down to like 11 and 7. 7 is okay. 7.8 hertz is usually kind of where it is. Yesterday we were up at like 36, 39 in terms of that. So we definitely will feel that coming in. So we've had a fair bit of that sort of phenomenon. I think I prefer that view. And yeah. Have you guys been feeling it? Yeah.
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 We're walking into the dragon's den. Not den, but the year.
Kaylee's asking if that's why she would have issues falling asleep. Yes.
That's also the
Yes.
transits.
So transits on top of that. And Gerald says, so a little bit of energy. Yeah. A lot. Because all of that is like those huge light downloads coming down, right? So all of that energy coming down, it's stirring everybody's stuff up, making us clear stuff, whether we want to or not, pushing us up into that ascension energy. Yes. So
Yeah.
it is a lot of energy. Kaylee was up tossing and turning till 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Well, and there's so much, right? And so we're trying to adapt and adjust and notice the changes, but it's hard, right? And the body's impacted by it and everything else. And so
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Also, Year of the Dragon brings a lot of change with it, so we're heading into it, which is, I think, in a week or so, or it just started now into February because that's the new year. So a lot of changes coming up. It depends. Good ones
Absolutely.
usually with the dragon.
yeah, definitely. Well, on the 7th, oh, sorry, on the 2nd, we moved into the gate 13. And the gate 13 is discord as the shadow, right? Discernment as the gift and empathy as the siddhi. And so, this is about like, it's the fellowship of man card or the listener card. And it's really, there's some beautiful things about it, but that discord piece, right, can be a huge impact on the energies. Sorry, guys. The dogs
Is it
It's
really
affecting the
weird?
dogs too.
emphasizing what discord can be like as they start to fight with each other.
Absolutely.
Right. And it's interesting because, we have these different energies coming in and, sleep is impacted by that. The dreaming, aggressive, hostile dreams, things like that could be coming in. So if you notice that you're having trouble getting to sleep or having trouble staying asleep, if you're remembering your dreams more, if you're having more troublesome dreams, all of that could be related to the energy that we're experiencing. So just notice it, notice what's coming up for you. I think the biggest thing when it comes to all of these different energies is, take a breath, let it out,
ground, all that
right?
wonderful stuff.
And recognize that you're not alone in what's happening, that this too will pass. But also, what can we gain from this moment, right? These things that are coming up for us. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
so noticing like what is coming up and what is it showing you, right? And so the shadow with the gate that we're in right now, we're going to be in this one until the 8th, so we're partway through it, and then we'll switch over. It's really getting us to move into this fellowship place, right? Fellowship of man, and to move from that discord energy into discernment, right? Into that clear state of seeing and understanding. This is where we can become the listener, the sounding board, that place of really meeting each other in love, right? And holding space for that, for empathy, for forgiveness, for holding each other through these different feelings and emotions. But we really have to recognize that discord, when it comes in, there's like a chemistry of pessimism, as Richard Rudd talks about in the Gene Keys, and this kind of putting our own issues on others and then using that to cause more discord, more separation.
Projection. Good old projection.
Exactly.
Yes.
But noticing, oh, wow, okay, I just got triggered and I just put that on you. Whew, I'm sorry. Right? And then, okay, how can we come back together? Right? And then how can I, knowing that this is coming up, tap into this, cosmic consciousness of, allowing the pattern to be what it is, and listening to, Richard talks about this idea of listening to the whole body. I'm saying listen to the mind, body, spirit, listen to all of what we are in that moment, and allow space for that to come through into our experience, and know that, what we are feeling or what we're experiencing doesn't necessarily even reflect what's real or true in this moment, right? So how do we move through that energy, right? And allow it to, help us to grow and help us to move forward, and not help us, to move into discord and misalignment and all of that. So notice that that's coming up.
So try to keep the peace, in other words.
Yeah. And again, it's the gift is discernment. So it's knowing when we have to express something and when we don't.
Right.
Right. And when something is coming from a trigger point within us versus when it's actually something that needs to be addressed. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been happening a lot to me recently where I just jump back and forth in time and see things differently and bring them back with not a solution, but a closure, actually, of issues that took place in the past 6 months and how they affected me, and used them to read through who I was and how I should be, not should be, as in you should do this, but how I can mold myself into a better person dealing with, with situations like this. And it's been happening a lot recently, a lot. I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And when we're able to notice it and see it come up and recognize it in our experience, it does allow for an opening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And learning.
Yeah.
Because, that's what we're here for.
Always. Always.
Here to learn. Yay.
I bet you.
Yay.
Because it's been bloody a long time.
Yeah.
It has. It has. Big hello to Jackie Jacaranda.
Hey, Jackie.
Hello, hello. Nice to see you. There we are.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, noticing is so important. And there's that stepping back, right? Being the observer, the silent observer of the situation. We talk about that a lot, and I think in all of our shows, we talk about that, being that silent observer and sort of stepping back and watching what's happening without having to jump into the drama triangle with it all, right?
So true. So true. And we're going to need to bring that forward as we move into the next gate too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're going from this one, which is in our identity center and about our throat, right? So it's really that expression piece as the channel is connects to the next center. But then we're going to be going into the 49 here, from the 8th to the 13th. So we're just going to go into this before the next time we chat, which is why I want to bring it up. This is revolution.
Celestite throat chakra.
There you go.
Revolution.
Yeah. So the shadow of this is reaction, right? The gift is revolution. And what does that really look like, right? So moving from this place of, being caught up in the whirlwind, right? We talk about reaction where we're just jumping right in, trigger, pulled, done, right? And we're off to the races with our emotional reaction to something. Right. But really being able to move into that place of revolution, again, that observing and knowing, is this is this something that needs to change? Right? Is this something that needs to be transformed or transmuted? Like, what is happening right now? And how can I move it in a direction that resonates and aligns and feels correct for my experience? Not, you made me mad, I'm going to fix you, right? Like, there's a very different energy in that.
Yeah, but let's face it, we're all human. We all step into that. You made me mad. I'm going to fix this. And then we think,
Yeah. Well, and that's
well,
the
I mean,
thing.
we all have our days. We do try to be that observant.
We have
but
our
yeah.
days. And when you think about the energy that we're moving from the shadow of discord into the shadow of reaction, right? So notice that. And notice if we're not working on moving, on really understanding the shadow and how it shows up for us and what it triggers within us, and how not, if we're not working on bringing in that gift and using it, to move us in the way we want to go, and how we could move really away from what's important to us with this energy, right? So instead of moving from discord into reaction, how can we move from discernment into revolution? Right? And that's moving from those shadow pieces into those gift pieces. And then if we really want to move, into that siddhi, that enlightened state of it, moving from empathy into rebirth. Right?
There's that transformation thing again.
Yeah.
So is this the one that's going to be in effect then between like the 17th and the 19th?
No.
Because those seem to be ones that are coming up in terms of dates for a lot of people.
No, but we can get into that next Monday, because that'll fall in next week's book. But right now, we're looking at moving through this place of listening with love into a place of changing the world from the inside. So again, whatever, as it leads us into what's coming next week, right? This is really setting us up for being able to embrace, a lot of possibility, right? So how can I, connect with my principles, with my values, with my, things that are really important to me and that I want in my experience? And how can I stand for that? Right? And how can I really ground in what is my truth, right? As we're moving into that next phase, and in order to get there right now, we have to look at, how can I be more empathetic? How can I be more compassionate? How can I allow, space to let go of what doesn't serve, right? That discord piece. How can I allow that to move from my experience and open to what's possible, right? So what am I fighting against right now, right? And what needs to happen in order for me to really discern what's next in this process, right? And so we have to do that to set up for that ability to bring change.
Well, and you mentioned, speaking your truth and stuff. There's a lot of people that aren't even sure what their truth is in specific situations, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess we always recommend that you go inside. It's an inside job to figure that out. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, I guess, depending on the style, right? Depending on the design, I should say, you have more trouble figuring out what that is, right? Because there's the ones that are undefined versus defined or something like that. So,
yeah, I mean, we all have our own kind of unique way that we go about figuring out what that is for us. And depending on our design, and so knowing our design can be really helpful in just giving us a better understanding of why things are the way they are anyway in our experience, right? But if you're looking at this and going, okay, what is truth for me? We're going to each figure that out in a different way, depending on our archetype, depending on, our strategy and authority around that, depending on so many things within our chart. Right. And so, I think really it's about being able to come into that still, quiet place, right? And hearing that voice, however it shows up for us, right? And quieting the storm of what's happening around us, right?
Yeah.
So that we can step into that observer place and go, okay, now what?
What are your
Sometimes
thoughts,
it's
Ramsey?
yeah, and sometimes it's a bit um, tough or hard to get into a silent place when you're in the heart of the storm. And what happens is that we tend to take that storm with us everywhere we go and poison everything around us without realizing what we're doing, of no fault of ours, because we're just in the storm. And it's good every now and then, I find, at least in my experience, is to put wedges in there in the stream of thoughts. And my wedges are always like, put a mantra on, let it listen to it while it's or some funny little thing, or just watch TV to break things up. And when you bring your thought level, your energy down, then you can go into that silent place and be able to see what is happening and discern the situation and break things into pieces and realize that there's nothing except your thoughts that have created all this BS around us. Or at least in my case, they're all.
Mhm.
I think that's often the case. We
Yeah.
create our own stuff. That's kind of what our topic is about tomorrow, actually, with Gerald, is that we create our own reality. So we're, in that sense, our perception is creating. So,
Why does it always happen to me? Well,
Mhm.
you're carrying it. It's in your
well,
purse, your wallet. It's within you. You're just walking around with it. That's spreading the glory all around you, and then you can see it not festering, but growing and multiplying. And here you go, and you have a garden filled with the stuff that you've been carrying around.
your projections.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and this goes back to our talk on the RAS too, right?
That's right.
What we look for is what we see, and that's we train our brain to look for certain things, and if we're constantly looking for chaos, we will find chaos.
Yep.
And there are plenty of chaos around out there, especially now. And if you want to get stuck into one of them, oh, that is awesome. You can just pick it like that. Go through social media and you'll find something easy.
Mhm.
Yep. 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 RAS, all things connected. Absolutely.
Most definitely.
So, should we pick a topic today? Which
I
deck are
guess
we
not.
using today, Jen?
I don't know. Did you want to still use this one with
Yep,
the?
that's fine. Yeah. Soul Truth
Until
by.
somebody tells me to use a different one.
No, that's great. I just like to show it so that the author gets the.
Nope, that one just fell right out.
And that's the one, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh.
Well, I can't make this stuff up, right? Am I in my head or am I in my heart?
You can't make this stuff up. Every week it happens.
Oh, golly. What is the quality of your self-talk? Our brain is like a muscle. If we condition it daily, the fears and limitations will take over. Mastering our thoughts is about being the creator of our own life. Where you head meets your heart, and sorry guys, I don't know if you hear them, I hear them. Sorry, where your head meets your heart is where miracles happen. Today's soul action. Today, master your mind. Watch an inspiring video, do some tapping, read an empowering book, or write out all the reasons why you believe in yourself and your dreams.
Mm.
Am I in my head or am I in my heart?
Very cool. And that always brings up the making decisions out of love instead of fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're making them from the heart instead of the head.
Yeah. Well, and the head goes through and it makes up all kinds of stories about everything. And it doesn't care if they're true or not. It doesn't care if they're based in reality or not. It just cares that it meets with some kind of filter that it's decided is correct. And as long as it can justify it, it's good to go.
Yep. It's that story, right? Telling ourselves the story.
Yeah. I'm just going to mute and let you guys talk for a minute.
They agree with us. That's fine.
They agree. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like our puffery and prophecy show. Except
Right? They're telling the
older
story.
Now. They're older now.
See, it's like, what's his name? I think it was Eckhart Tolle that said, what did he say? I forgot now. It's like the
He said lots of wonderful stuff.
if the police are investigating a robbery to find the thief, but the thief is the chief of the police. So we're running around looking for something that is created by us without knowing it is us that is or has created it. And we're trying to find others to put that creation on, when the reality is we're the sole creator of that issue.
Right.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And into the conversation, about our perception creating our reality, right? We, the moment that we come to a place where we recognize our responsibility for how we are experiencing life is the moment that we hit this place of absolute freedom and absolute horror.
That is the moment that the self-forgiveness must start.
Right? Because there's this place of like, oh, I can create, my reality. I can help how I'm feeling in this moment. I can, bring myself through this. I can let this go. Right. But then there's all of this. Well, then I have to take full responsibility for everything. And I have to own all that. And I can't blame you guys for why I'm not okay. I don't know.
I don't know if I like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Time for the Ho'oponopono in the mirror.
The answer usually is, yeah, I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm. But you weren't there when this thing happened, and how they made me feel. So no, I think I'm gonna hold my anger and frustration for another 20 years. Although everybody's dead, but I'm gonna hold it.
Oh,
Because
is that? Are you doing that, Ramzi?
No.
We were gonna have a little chat about that.
No, I was talking to somebody. I was trying to bring them up to see the pain that they're causing themselves.
Yeah.
And you could see the light is shining. It's starting to creep in and through those little cracks, and they can see it, but then they shut everything down and said, "But you were not there. You don't understand." Just true. I don't understand. I understand nothing, but I can make my life easier.
Yes.
And healthier.
And not hang on to it.
Yeah.
And yes, it is out of experience.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I think all of us has experience.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we've talked before, and I've shared about experiences that I've gone through where I've had to surrender and to let go of things. And the mind made such a story about it and told me why I was not going to survive these events and why I wasn't going to be okay and how horrible all of these people were and, how wronged I was and all of this stuff. And, when you put it on paper and everything, like, yeah, there was a lot of not great stuff that was being done, but how I felt about it and how I navigated it and how I, decided to tell this story to myself was completely mine to decide. Mm-hmm. And in the time, right, of it happening, there were a lot of tears and there were a lot of why do I have to go through this? And a lot of, I don't want this. And resistance to the experience and all of that. And that's all the mind, right? Because the heart knows that we're going to be okay, right? And even if it hurts, and even if it's mourning a loss or it's grieving over, things that are happening, it knows that it can make it through, right? The mind goes, this is the end.
Quiet.
Right? Those experiences, when I look back on them, as horrific as they were at the time, caused some of the greatest leaps and bounds in my learning and my own transformation. And I am beyond grateful for having them. That doesn't mean that they were easy, right? But being able to recognize that I get to decide how that story impacts me and how I want to even tell that story, that's my power.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Battle stations. Yep.
But we don't need to be at battle stations because that's just our mind.
Yeah.
We can be in release instead of resistance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the moment that we really let go, it's amazing what opens for us.
So this has never happened. That the three of us are sitting here and we're quiet for more than a moment. It never happens.
It's a beautiful thing, though, to take a moment and reflect on that, right? And
it is.
For each person to be able to reflect on moments in their own experience that the head said was horrible, right? And how did we come through it? And was the heart able to open in that moment to say, okay, this is going to be okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, sometimes we just need help seeing it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And welcome, Dee. Thank you for joining us.
Shift in the universe.
Yes.
I did too. I think we all noticed it and we were like, huh, maybe we jumped a timeline or something because that was interesting. So what kind of examples do you guys have? Not just us here, but in the audience. Does anybody want to share an example?
Yeah. And you can do like I did and just share how you were feeling through something. You don't have to go into detail if you're not comfortable with that. That's perfectly fine. Mm-hmm.
So that's where I love about Jen's practice. We can be talking, and if I'm struggling, she can do Reiki, which keeps my mind out of panic. It's a full package. So it helps so much. Absolutely. Yeah. She's pretty awesome, this Jennifer.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other piece too, right? When we talk about panic, it's the mind that puts us into panic, right? Yeah. And the body goes, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. And it responds to what the mind is telling it.
I hate it when my body goes, oh crap.
Those are very clinical, technical terms, people. Straight from the psychotherapy world, they teach us that in school. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. But it's that's true. Funny. I don't know about you guys. I have had that experience, right? You could, that's that panic setting in, and the body's just like, what do I do with all of this, right? Because it's the energy that's building and that need to release. Right. And so there's this kind of signal that's going back and forth, and you're just like,
She's read that term somewhere. No, it's not just one. Oh crap! It's three.
Always
Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap!
Right, but this is where things like the basic exercise and those different
Right.
practices that we bring in to really calm that nervous system to help bring us back into that ventral vagal state. See, I can get technical if I need to.
That's the thing that's triggered with the oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap!
Our autonomic nervous system goes. I do have to do everything in threes. It's pretty funny.
3 is a magic number.
It
is. Thank you.
The last one has to be cap.
A dear friend asked me a great question when I was upset. How will you feel about this tomorrow, next week, next month? Great perspective. But then I was too young to know better. Older and wiser now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would tell you I would feel the same thing tomorrow and the week after when you're in that specific, when you're in that, stuck in that energy, you can't see beyond it. But somebody told me this, tragedy plus time equal comedy.
Well, yeah, that's
so
like
go
Shakespeare,
forward
isn't
in
it?
time, go forward in time, and I've been using this for a while on myself. I said I go forward in time and look back at this point where everything has settled, and there's really nothing there because you don't carry the energy with you 5 years down the road. Okay, unless you're a hogger and you want to keep everything and you want to file them and make sure you can.
Just a minute, let me pull that file out.
On this day, at this time, at this minute, this second, you said this word. Why? Really? I don't recall saying anything. I don't recall I was there, but there are people who like to carry these as a safety net. But if you move forward in time,
Thank you, Jackie.
yeah, I look at it and there's actually nothing there. Nothing there.
It's hard when we look at things like trauma and stuff like that, though, because that trauma, gets left out in the brain and then everything starts to get filtered through it. And until we allow ourselves to move through it, as hard as that is, and let it go, like you're saying, right? We're holding on to it. We're keeping it right out there.
Yeah.
And so, 5 years from now, we might still be experiencing it because we haven't allowed it to get filed away. We haven't been willing to go through the difficulty sometimes that needs to happen in order to be able to let it go or put it away. And I think that, sometimes we hold on to things just because we're bitter about it and we want to. And sometimes we hold on to things because we're scared to actually process it, right? And to allow ourselves to feel the feels and have, that moment of kind of, truth or realization and go, wow, okay, like I don't actually have to carry this anymore in order to be safe.
Well, and that's where we can, I think all of us probably help our clients to take out a sheet at a time out of that file. So they don't have to clear the entire file. They can do it a little sheet of paper at a time. If the file's this big, we're just going a little bit at a time. That just allows us to feel safer to do it.
Neil Donald Walsh, the author of Conversations with God, he uses also another technique called, he coined it as recontextualize the situation. So bring it back and sit in the other person's shoes and see how it feels, and then do the reverse. And then you start to see that the energy around it start to dissipate slowly because it's not everything about us. The mind tries to put this image that we're the victim in this scenario, and we have to defend ourselves, and oh my god, we're gonna die. It's like the oh crap times three cubing.
Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap.
But once you start to change,
Where's that file? Oh crap.
it all
Sorry.
fades away.
Yes, folks, I'm the comic relief.
I love it.
For today, anyway.
Mhm. Yeah, but
It's that shift again.
I didn't know if Ramzi was done with.
Yeah.
I interrupted. Sorry, Ramzi.
See.
Yeah. Well, and when we allow ourselves to, just open to the possibility of something being different, it's amazing what can come from that. And so, like, to what Ramzi was saying about being able to put ourselves in the other person's perspective too, I think that there's a lot of power in that. And when we do different practices with forgiveness, understanding that how we perceive something sometimes has absolutely nothing to do with what really happened or what was going on for the other person in that moment. And so a practice like that can be really helpful in, getting the ego out of the way and allowing self to take a step back and go, wait a minute, that person did that thing and it hurt me, but that had nothing to do with me.
Mm.
And my pain and my trigger, that's mine. That has nothing to do with them. Right?
That's that old, we're only accountable for our own actions and reactions, not everybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's that accountability you were talking about earlier, John.
Mm-hmm.
When we realize, oh my God, it's my fault.
I've been
I'm doing
miserable
that.
for the past week and a half, and
Doing that.
it's actually my fault.
I'm doing that to me. Why are you doing that? Yep.
Yeah, Kaylee made a comment and Gerald was agreeing with it, but just that idea of, even just having feelings validated can be such a powerful thing, right? In that moment to recognize, like, sometimes we do go through really, really difficult stuff, and to be able to go, yeah, that sucks. That was hard. Right? Can be, I'm just going to pause again. You guys chat.
Yeah. So he says that's true. It's so important to have someone recognize what I'm feeling. They don't have to agree. They just have to see me in those feelings. Yeah. It's that I see you. I hold space for you. Right? And that's why that's so important. Feeling wrong is sometimes better or more comfortable than feeling sad. Interesting. What makes it wrong, though? What would make that wrong for you, Dee? Because that's an interesting.
Yeah, I'd be curious about your use of the word wrong there and what that means. I know we have a lot of other emotions that can come up that can cloud sadness, right? Anger, frustration, resentment. There's all kinds of
fear
things put in there just so that we don't feel the feels of sad. But yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
read Chinese.
Reagan might be able to help if it's on right now, but I don't know. Uncomfortable.
Okay.
Oh, Japanese.
Oh, it's Japanese. Lovely.
Okay, very cool.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Well, welcome. Good morning. Yes.
I got my Google Translate. That's
perfect.
Good morning.
So not dealing, processing instead of actually dealing with it and grieving.
Yeah. Well, and
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I've done a lot of, it's not, what do you call it, burying, because it's the easiest thing to do is just put it in a box, put it on the side, and forget about it. All these things are nothing. You just step over them, but they're like a volcano. It's your the volcano wants to erupt. It wants to be seen. It wants to be heard. It wants to release that emotion, and all you're doing putting corks around it and plugging in and plugging it and having the surface looking so pretty, and then one day the whole thing collapses. You can't control it anymore, and it does affect you even if you're not aware of what is happening within you from an emotional and psychological perspective, because they are they sit there and they fester for a long period of time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like the volcano example. I often use the example of like a Coke bottle, right? We shake it up, we shake it up, we shake it up. It's getting pretty explosive in there, right? And if we just keep on shaking it, but we never have any release, the moment that it opens, it's going everywhere, right?
All over everyone.
But I'll admit to something. I like my soda a little flat. So I will shake my soda bottle, but I'll shake it a little bit and then I'll release a little. Then I close it back up and I shake it a little and I release a little, right?
Adam,
And doing it that way, no Mentos. No, not going there.
That's
But
when somebody really triggers you.
yeah, but by doing that, you're constantly releasing, but it's never explosive, right?
Right.
And so often we fear these feelings because we're scared that if we let them out, they're going to be uncontrollable and we're never going to come back from them, and it's just going to be how it is, right? But if we allowed ourselves to just feel our feels, right, they wouldn't build up like that, like the volcano or the soda bottle, right?
Yeah.
Because we're constantly allowing ourselves to process them little bit by little bit.
Mm-hmm. So this is an interesting one. I ponder the difference between guilt and anger, especially as women. Yeah, I mean, I think there's times when I felt angry and then afterwards felt guilty about it. Right? Because, I shouldn't be feeling that way. Why should I feel that? I shouldn't be angry about this. Why am I feeling angry? And you feel guilty because you're feeling angry in a place where maybe that's not what you should see as appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
But really, that's other people projecting on how you should or should not be feeling, or yourself projecting on yourself about how you should or should not be. It's like you're placing expectations on yourself as as we go into that. I think that's very much a human thing.
Yeah.
Right?
it's like
Very much.
I'm really proud. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and it's interesting, right? Because we get into this place of people pleasing, and that's a very across the board thing that people can experience, right? And then the moment that we, realize, okay, you know what, I actually want to set a boundary, or this doesn't feel correct for me, or we get into a point of going, I'm not willing to continue this same cycle. All of a sudden, that anger comes in because we're trying to maybe set a boundary, or we're trying to express something, and somebody's not hearing us, or they're not respecting that, right? And so anger is often a sign that we feel like there's an injustice in some way in this experience, right? And so if we can recognize that, then we can see, okay, this guilt comes in because I haven't set this boundary before. And I'm getting, backlash now because I'm setting this boundary and people aren't liking that. Right. And then in that moment we go, oh no, should I really be setting this boundary? Right? And then there's this kind of back and forth. We're angry because the person's not honoring it. We're angry at ourselves because we can't hold it. We're guilty because we're putting it out there. We're guilty because we're not honoring our own truth, right? And there's this like vicious cycle of emotion that can come through. But if we can take that step back, then we can go, okay, what's really important to me right now? Right? Do I want this connection despite this boundary? Is this boundary something I really want to hold right now? Right? And we can begin to honor our truth and be okay with the anger and be okay if the guilt shows up. Right? We're conditioned to feel guilty if we set a boundary. Cool. Okay. There's conditioned guilt. What am I going to do with that now? It's not, no longer am I saying I'm guilty, right? It's, oh, look, there's conditioned guilt. Cool. Okay. Now what? I don't hear you. I don't know if that's just me, if something's changed on my end.
No, I had it on mute.
Okay.
There was something going on here.
I was like,
So
I'm not techno savvy, so I was like, I don't
Sorry.
know what happened there.
No, it's so not stepping into, like, not owning it, right? Allowing yourself to do that observer role of it instead of saying it's mine. Say, I am feeling this, but it's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to let it flow through, I think, right?
I was going to say it's okay sometimes to be angry or upset because you didn't set those boundaries. It's okay to feel those emotions rising and feel that you let yourself down and all of these, whatever silly stuff that the mind can create, just that's okay. As long as we take them, allow them to flow, and then use them to make sure that it doesn't happen again. To create those boundaries more solid the next time. And it's always a baby step, always.
Yeah.
We never stop learning, and we're not going to graduate. So for all those who graduated, good on you. For me, I still have many generations to deal with stuff.
Yeah, but if we're still here, we're still learning.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's how it is.
Yeah. And if we can enjoy the learning process, right? If we can embrace it, then it's all okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about
upside down. Yep.
Yeah.
Welcome to being human.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
One of my favorite phrases.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is the human experience.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to feel all of those emotions and all of them at once if necessary. Because that's definitely happened to me, where I'm like excited and I'm anxious and I'm sad and I'm angry and I'm frustrated and I don't know what to do next because I just am this ball of energy. And I need to just release. And usually I end up crying if I'm like that. Because that's the only thing I can do. It's a good quick release. It works well for me.
Yeah. Well, and then we also get into those situations where we feel like we're supposed to feel a certain way. Like there's those shoulds, right? Well, you should be sad about this, or you shouldn't be happy about that, or you should, right? You should, whatever is going on there. And so, the moment that we recognize what we're doing to ourselves around our emotions, we can kind of take a step back again and go, wow, look at all these other things I'm creating for myself. Just by shoulding myself so much.
Yeah, we can should ourselves to death, really.
But also look, the space you create when you release those things. See how much connection you have with your heart once you release it. It becomes much easier to connect. You should do something.
Yes.
But you should listen.
He's a wise man, that Gerald.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, oh, but not on your shoulders.
Shoulders.
Shoulders, but not on your shoulders. Okay.
I like that. Sorry.
He wasn't listening.
Oh, golly.
So, Jen,
Wow. Do you guys want
we
to
have
do
our activity for the week.
activity? So our activity comes to you from
Sacred Feminine.
yes, seeds from the sacred feminine. All right, let's see. What do they want us to do this week?
You're going to tap into your sacred feminine this week, Ramzi.
Ooh.
There we go. Be still.
Oh, see, be still so you can hear your heart.
Mm-hmm. Again, you know, always
make this stuff up.
connected. All right, let's see what we got here. If I can open the page, we'll be good. All right. Here we go. So hold that for you guys. The speed of your world is dizzying. There's that storm, Ramzi.
Yeah.
Your physical body has trouble keeping up. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. I'm going to stop. A heightened level of stimulation, which is exciting for your sacred masculine nature, takes its toll on your nervous system, affecting your moods and your sleep patterns. Take a moment to breathe and stop the whirlwind. Play in the realm of the sacred feminine for a while. When was the last time you sat still for more than 20 minutes? Try it now. Move into a comfortable position and find a gentle space to relax into. Be still like a deer or a rabbit. Settling your body into stillness is the first step. Now still your mind. The mind will try to convince you that every chore and task is more important than your well-being. Without judgment, notice your thoughts chatter away. Then, with loving regard, let them flow onward. Your sacred self waits for your moments of stillness to emerge. Be still and remember who you are. In the silence, feel your connection to the great mystery.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. And
So
it
you
just
should still.
sums up the whole conversation and the two transits in one, doesn't it?
Yep.
Amazing. I don't know what else to say.
Speechless.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Again, odd for the three of us to be speechless.
We're finding stillness.
We are. Yep. Indeed. So, Ramzi,
Yes. Ma'am.
what's your week looking like?
What's
What's the week looking like for you?
it's looking like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I would challenge you to switch some of those days around. But don't tell anybody else. Just do it. Because that's where the fun is. Have you had it happen? I have. Oh crap, it's Thursday, not Friday. Oh, I missed an oh crap in there.
It's going to be an awesome week. It's quiet.
That
Quiet.
sums up our conversation.
You know,
It's not all Mondays, Ramses. It's not all Mondays.
Mondays
of you,
behind
though.
us now. I think the week is going to be awesome.
And we have something coming up.
Yes, on Friday we have recorded an episode of Open Mic. It will be airing Friday at 7 p.m. It is awesome with Ismail Metatron. What is it called? The Quantum
Quantum
Dolores
33
Planet.
Quantum
Dolores
333, is that what it was? Is that what his
Quantum
thing is?
TT something. I don't recall what it stands for.
Right.
TT, right?
He's awesome. Just listen.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
fun. It was
So
fun.
that's happening on Friday, and of course Saturday is our party. You're more than welcome. You can find it on Facebook. The invite, it's with Awaken to Your True Self. It's in there.
Yep.
Join us on
That's his
Saturday.
that's
Fun.
your community group, right?
Yeah.
Awaken to your true self.
Yep.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to Ramzi Cheety
Mhm.
on YouTube and Facebook and all of that wonderful stuff.
It's fun to like and subscribe. Guess what? You get to see me once every 2 weeks at least. Yes,
And sometimes you see me too.
that's true. It's every 2 weeks. It's not an open mic, and we're gonna have Jen one evening. We haven't invited her yet because it's gonna be like at least a month and a half. I go, let's wait closer to the dates before big plans, you know.
Yeah.
And we should have asked her before, and then the whole mess about planning and should have and couldn't and
It's all
Oh
good.
crap, oh crap, oh crap.
Oh man. For those
Jen.
of you, because there's a comment that went through about the whole should I meditate? And a lot of people, when it comes to meditating, being still and clearing the mind, go, I can't do that. Right. And that's not something that is manageable. I recommend YouTube it, leaves on a stream. If you can't find it, send me a message. I will send it to you. It's a beautiful meditation, and it's not about clearing or emptying the mind. It's about noticing, observing, and letting go. Observe it and let it go. And so you're really in this meditative state. The thought comes in, you go, oh, look, there's that thought about the thing again. You put it on the leaf, you want it to go down the stream. Oh, there it is again. Okay.
The thought
Right?
about the thing.
That
That
thought
thing.
about the thing.
That thought about the thing keeps coming back.
And it does, right? But the more that we, practice the noticing, the more that can really help.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Leaves on a stream.
It's asking what to call it again.
Leaves on a stream.
Yeah. Beautiful. And so, what have you got coming up this week, Jen?
Well, I had my show with Gerald just before this. So if you guys are interested in the human design deep dive, look at the Laugh and Learns with Tarot Stash, and you can dive into those. And then I have this, and that's it for where you're going to see me.
She has a busy practice. She has a busy practice, so she's busy with that. We're busy working on stuff for the coming months for training and whatnot with the school. And next week on Twillow Talk, we have Gerald. And we have an amazing lineup coming up for March, you guys. We've got, end of February, we have Marianne Savino coming on. That's awesome. And then we also have Brian Rue, who's going to be joining us in March, and Rhonda Hart, who I did a special, her very first podcast. I was so honored to be on that, and that was put out on Saturday night, or Sunday, one of those days. We had some technical issues, so we had to post it instead of going live. But so check that out. So Rhonda will be with us then. And of course, Gerald is with us once a month. And what else we got? I have a Reiki 1 class on Saturday. If anyone's interested, that's coming up. And Oh, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it was fun. It was a great one. And so I think that's all I can think of at the moment.
Cool. It's a lot of awesome stuff, guys.
It is. We've got lots coming up. So stay tuned with all of us on our channels. Like and subscribe to all 3. Yes, I do have Enlightenment Evening tonight as well, which is if you're local. It actually starts less than an hour. And so I have to go and finish getting ready with soup that Kaylee has made. Absolutely. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Jackie. It's always wonderful to have you all. We appreciate you all, the best chatters, and we shall see you next week. So come back and see us, same time, same places, more or less,
Mostly.
mostly. And we'll see
I'll
you
still
then.
be in this chair.
I'll still be in this chair. Gerald will be in that chair. No, wait, that chair. Have an awesome week, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Bye bye.
Lots of love.